Ben to get back here with some information to share with you guys, and I've got some other friends that I'm waiting to have say some words to you to start this as well. But Chappie's here, Steve Hansen. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
All right, let's pray for this weekend's race. Hopefully everyone can hear me back there. Father, we are just so blessed that we get to come out here in the sandbox and play and have some fun and roll our cars, crash them, and get them going again and go. But Father, whether we're racing for the checkers or we're just struggling to get through life, we just put you in the driver's seat, and we just lean on you in all things in our lives. And I just lift up all these men and women that have come out here to Hammertown, that they'd have a safe race, a safe time, and create great memories and stories for years to come to share. And Father, as we kick up the dust in the next couple of days, that you would just give us favor out here on this desert and protect all those that are participating, all those that are taking pictures, all those that are just spectating, Father, that they would feel your presence out here in this great land that we have. And on that, Father, I do lift up the men and women that protect our freedoms, that keep this such a great country to live in. In Jesus' name we all say, amen.
Yeah, is she here? That's who I wanted to introduce, but I don't see her here. Okay, there. Get out here. We'll have one more formality to get to, and then we'll get to business. Over the years, I've introduced Paul Cook and I've introduced Don Rowell as two of the most important people that have worked with us with the local government, local everything, towns, counties, state, BLM. Really? Dave? Okay. This is hardly ever a problem. Bottom line is that over the years, we've faced a lot of challenges, and I can honestly say that if it wasn't for Don Rowell, we would not have King of the Hammers. We wouldn't have Johnson Valley. We would not be wheeling here, period. She is the reason why we are able to do that. Her work with the Marine Corps, the county, the state. So I can tell you that she's your biggest fan. She works here every day, every race, every time in King of the Hammers for the last decade, at least 12, 13 years. She has, despite her position or whatever her job was, she takes vacation, comes here, and she works as our BLM liaison. So what that means is, as we're doing the things and we're trying to manage this whole race, she's the one that sits in between and captures what the BLM's saying, what we're saying, what's happening to you guys, and trying to make all sense of it. So when we go home afterwards, we actually have something to work from, as opposed to, well, that just sucked, let's not do that again, right? She's amazing. Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you. So my late husband was active duty Marine Corps. We got stationed out here in 2003, and on his second deployment to Iraq with 9 Broncos at the house, he was killed on active duty. And so the kids and I made Yucca Valley our home. Dave became Uncle Dave to my kids. He taught them how to wheel. He taught them how to be safe and to do this. And I'm incredibly blessed to represent you now and keep our public lands open for off-roading and to teach our kids and our next kids the sport that we love. So thank you for the opportunity to be here and to advocate for you.
Most of the business stuff I'm going to leave to Ben and Jason and all those guys. Well, you guys can walk closer. Come closer. Sit up here. I'll give the microphone to Ben. It's been the best year so far for me, except for the loss of Austin. But I'm thankful that you guys are all here doing the things. It's pretty fucking rad. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Welcome to the pre-race drivers meeting. All UTV, EMC, and 4400 drivers. We're going to kick this off, but firstly, I want to celebrate our pole positions for qualifying. We had some amazing qualifying out there. I hope you guys enjoyed the course. Some of you guys definitely kept our recovery workers busy, but the guys who didn't, in the 4900 Can-Am UTV Open class, Ronnie Anderson on the pole in that class, or fastest in that class. Pro Mod UTV and also overall in the whole 4900 race, 191, Kyle Cheney, well done. The 4900 Pro Stock NA is Anthony Yont, and the Sportsman Stock fastest qualifier is Zach Simzik. Sorry if I butchered that one, apologies. In EMC, 4600 in the stock class, Curry Enterprises stock class, the 4621 of Brad Lovell, the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle modified class, 1950 Logan Goodall on the pole there, and overall in the whole EMC and 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class is the 381 of Kent Fultz. And then today we had some epic qualifying again, the Race of Kings in 6 minutes and 42 seconds. Number 7, Cade Rod. Well done, everyone. I'd also like to make special welcome to 2 new classes we have here at King of the Hammers for 2024 that are racing with us this week. The 4900 youth class in the UTVs. Is anyone here racing that? There's a few hands back there. These are our new youngest racers. It's an awesome new class. A lot of people getting really interested in it, and they'll be out there racing tomorrow behind the rest of the field in the 4900 race. So please welcome, guys. And then another new class is the military class in EMC, and I believe we have 1 entry here. I'm not sure if they're here tonight, hopefully. There we go. So welcome to those guys, 2 new classes, and that means we have 848 entries overall at this stage for the King of the Hammers 2024, and that's awesome. So welcome, everyone. Before we go into the detail of the driver's briefing, I'd like to introduce James Masters. He heads up production for Hammer King, and he's got something important to tell you about your race numbers.
Thanks, man. All right, guys, we have spent the last year raising the bar in production for this show. We did that because of the performance that you put on. And you've proven that over the last couple days. The performance that you guys provide, the racing that we've got this year has been next level. We want to ensure that we are giving you as much attention as we possibly can. And one way that we can do that is by you providing us a clear identity of your vehicle. That means your car number. The bigger, the more clear, the easier it is for us to read, the easier it will be for us to identify you, to talk about you on camera, to show you to the world and make sure that you're recognized. Numbers on the roof would be ideal if you can do that. Clear numbers on the side of your vehicle. Make it really easy. Black number on white background. I know there's some rules, so just stick to the rules. I'm not going to get into the details of what those rules are. You guys probably all know what that is. But I cannot stress the importance of that. It really helps us. It helps the announcers know who you are, identify you, tell your story to the viewers. Helps the viewers. It helps your sponsors. So it's really important. I can't stress it enough. That's it. Sorry, Ben just reminded me. So this year, we have implemented a new system of cataloging all the footage. You guys must understand, we get days and days and days of footage over the course of this past week. We have implemented a new AI system. It goes through, it identifies your car, it identifies your sponsor, and it allows us to quickly pull the footage of yourself for your own team use, for your sponsor use, however that is, but we can quickly turn it around. Again, it makes it easier for us to give you guys something to promote yourselves. So we've got that. The clear numbers will help us in that effort. That's all I got.
Thanks, James. And how about a big round of applause for James and all his crew of hardworking production guys. I'm sure if you've seen any of the coverage, you'll agree it's just amazing this year. I had an hour with Tom Ways commentating the other day, and it was great. We've got some amazing stuff going out, and it's really cool what those guys are doing. Okay, race notes. Everyone will have their new trackers test fitted in contingency and tech the day before you race, and that's to ensure that you have the correct mount and wiring set up. If you fail that, you need to get it resolved the day before the race. Do not turn up on race day without having your tracker test fitted. The actual transponders and trackers will be fitted at the start of staging on race morning. You cannot start without them. 4,900 youth, hopefully you got them today going through tech. Come and see me afterwards if you didn't hopefully you got test fitted today going through tech. Come and see me afterwards if you didn't. After the race, you must return any trackers and transponders to the boxes in the front of the media tent if you don't finish. It's really important that we get them back, because with these new rally safe units and even the transponders, we don't have an unlimited amount. With the awesome numbers in each race, we need to use them next day. If you do not bring yours back, we will be short in following races. So please, bring them back, return them. We'll take them off at the finish. If you don't make the finish or you escape without us getting them off for some reason, please bring them back quickly. Okay, so the driver of record must start or finish the race to carry any points for the race. All lineups and results will be posted and emailed, and they'll be posted on the KOH website, as well as printed and posted on the Ops Connex and the media tent front and back doors. Okay, so we're just finalising the Race of Kings ones now, and we'll have all the lineups up shortly. LCQ competitors, Race of Kings, congratulations, you are all in the race. If you haven't already, please go to the front gate and finalise your registration for Race of Kings. Any racer issues regarding registration, number questions, classes, anything like that, please see Carrie Welch, who is in the media tent. She's got a little desk in there, so please go and see her. This is really important. From now on, at midnight, the course is hot. There is no more pre-running. Pre-running is closed. You cannot be on racetrack tomorrow, Friday, or Saturday. Is everyone 100% clear on that? We are racing on all parts of the Desert and Rocks tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. Do not be that person. Staging. Staging will enter through gate 9, which is up near gate 3, up the top of town, up here on the far end, okay? You'll enter gate 9. They will tell you which row to line up in. In your driver's packs, you have the groups that show where each pair of drivers line up in Hammertown. If we get too much weather tonight for the UTV guys, and you cannot get out gate 5 without it being an absolute mess tomorrow morning, I will make sure that the pit gate out past Mickey Thompson is open. You can carefully drive down through the short course, up through this gate just here right next to the VIP tent, and get to gate 9 that way without having to go out on the lake bed. Does that make sense to everyone? So if you wake up tomorrow or even the next day and it's a mess down there, don't go out down the bottom. Come up, come through, and get in line. Please don't bring your pit trucks into lineup. Please don't bring your support UTVs into lineup. Your race vehicles is what we need. We cannot have a bunch of vehicles in Hammertown, especially if we get weather. All vehicles need to be staged by 6:30 a.m. Check your staging map. Staging is at the same time for all 3 days. Now, I mentioned in the earlier drivers' meeting, we want to do a really cool ceremony and feature you guys. Be prepared to move your vehicles at 7:25 a.m. That's not going to get a coffee, being somewhere else. You need to be at your vehicles. If you stage them at 6:30 and you need to go off and do a nervous wee and then come back, whatever, but you must be at your vehicles at 7:25. Then we'll roll you out on the short course and you can get out of your vehicles and wave to the crowd and celebrate before we start this race. And then we'll get you suited up and in the cars and ready to go. That is the starting procedure. We will have 2 cars off the line every 30 seconds for all 3 races. UTV, EMC and Race of Kings is 2 cars off the line every 30 seconds. Cut-offs. For UTV and EMC, the cut-off to start your second lap is 1 p.m. plus your start time behind the first starter. If you start at 8:26, your cut-off is 1:26 p.m. Does that make sense? The finish line closes at 6 p.m. plus the same number. So again, it would be 6:26 p.m. for you to finish the race. Everyone gets the exact same amount of time to finish this race. We do it on adjusted time. But it is 1 p.m. plus your time to leave for second lap. That gives you 5 hours to do the desert lap. It's 74 miles or so. If you don't make it in that amount of time, it's probably unlikely that you'll make it all the way around the rock lap and get back before 6 p.m. For Race of Kings, the cutoff for starting your third lap is 7 p.m. plus your adjusted time. The finish line closes at 10 p.m. plus your adjusted time. Weather. There's potential for some significant weather coming tomorrow. Hopefully it's pretty minimal, but we've made some plans in case we need to deal with more severe rain and possibly cold. We all need to stay flexible and adapt as needed. I suggest that you all carry some type of warm, dry clothes in a waterproof bag somewhere in your vehicle. In case you break down and you need to get out of the weather, maybe you can get in a course worker's vehicle and shelter or something like that. Have something warm and dry in a bag. Rescue 3 suggests carrying a space blanket. They're very small, very light. If you have one in a first aid kit, the silver blanket things, take one of them too, please. It can help keep you warm. If you get wet and it gets cold, there's a risk of hypothermia. You need to watch out for each other as it gets later in the day, especially when it gets dark. If you see a vehicle pulled over, check that people inside are okay. At 5:30 at night, you're not racing for the win. You're racing to finish the event. Let's check on our mates and make sure that everyone's okay. If we have to modify tech and contingency or even the lineup, we have a plan for that. If the bottom of town gets too wet and we can't use it, we have plans for that. Just follow the instructions of the tech and contingency crew or the lineup crew. They will communicate any changes. But we've tried to work through things. We have the entry to get up to gate 9 coming through the pit area. Please use it if needed. Okay, course notes, speed zones. If you've been pre-running, you've probably seen them on your GPS and they are marked as well. Lap 1, there is a speed zone when you exit the marine base where lap 1 crosses lap 2. This will also be a speed check for lap 1 traffic to lead to lap 2 traffic. Not all vehicles will be stopped. You might be waved through if there's no one coming, but you must slow to 25 miles an hour. USAC will be actively enforcing the speed penalties. Lap 2 and 3, there are speed zones, entry and exit from pit 2. Again, they are marked in your GPS and on the ground. If you do not need to use pit 2, there is a marked bypass that you can run at race pace when you come from the top end of the course and into it. Okay? So you can run at race pace. When you're coming the second time to pit 2, you need to run 25 mile an hour because you're running right along the fence of that pit. There will be stop checks to allow vehicles to enter and exit the pits safely. So please, if you're in a 25 mile an hour zone, it's highly likely there's a stop check in there as well. Okay? There's a stop check to exit the pit, and there's a stop check to enter the pit the first time where you give way to traffic who are further through the lap than you are. Okay. The choose your own way section of the race course. Navigating from VCP 113 to 114. We've had to add 2 extra rock checkpoints. They are in a new file that PCI now have. They've also been posted on the internet, if you have access to that. They are 2 checkpoints that have been added. I can also just put the actual grid locations on the door and you can add them into your own file. They will be on the rally safe as well. Okay, so the rally safe will know that you're going to them. They ensure that you run the rock trail and also do not shortcut the high-speed road that has now been burnt in that people have been pre-running. The idea is to run those options and not to shortcut across. So we've put an extra VCP in there that you need to hit. It'll make sense when you see it. It takes you down further towards Medusa before you get to navigate on your own. It's just before that. We'll take some questions on course later in the meeting, and Dave and I will handle that. So again, there is an update. I can give you the grids, and also PCI have an update. It's also been posted online. If you're on Rock Sports Insiders or any of those, it's been shared there as well this afternoon. Okay, I'd like to introduce our race director, Jason Smith, to bring us some information from USAC.
Thanks, Ben, and sure wish you hadn't mentioned that nervous we. Anyway, first thing I want to do is tell all you guys, these last 3 days, I think I told you at the last meeting, I had not been here this whole week, so I've never been here for the qualifying runs, and to see the effort that you guys put into qualifying is honestly inspiring. I mean, to see what you guys do out there, I mean, my back's killing me from going up and down Boone Road. I can't imagine what you guys are going through out there, so hats off to you guys. It's impressive, and quite honestly, I'm gaining new heroes this week. So thank you for doing that. It's been good. But anyway, what I want to do real quick, I know you guys are dealing with a new tracker this week, something new. So I want to bring up Preston Osborn to discuss how that goes and give you some information on that. So Preston.
Thanks, Jason. As he said, my name's Preston Osborn. I'm also with USAC, kind of overseeing the implementation of Rally Safe here. So the purpose of Rally Safe is primarily a safety and tracking system. And so basically so we can keep an eye on you guys in the course if you're stopping. It does also record G-forces, which we are able to see in race control, you know, if you have a crash or something like that. The system operates pretty much in the background for you guys. There's no interaction that you need to do with the units itself. Unless you're coming to a stop, there's a couple of different things you can do. So when you come to a stop, the unit goes into what's called a hazard mode. And so the screen will light up yellow, and that tells us in race control that you've come to a stop. You don't have to do anything on your end if you don't need immediate assistance, and by that I mean fire or medical support. And so if that's the case, you're working on the car, trying to get it moving again, whatever the case is, there's nothing that you are required to do on the unit. If you do need immediate assistance, there's a button that will show up when that unit goes into hazard mode, and it's labeled SOS. So you press that button, and then it asks if you need medical or fire. If you need fire, press fire. If you need medical, press medical. If it's neither one of those, but you need immediate assistance, just press medical. We'll see that location update when you press that button back in race control, and we'll be able to dispatch the appropriate resources for you. The screen's not touchscreen. Sometimes there's a little confusion for that. There's physical buttons just below the screen that you will press. The other feature that's in it, as Jason mentioned, or Ben may have mentioned, is basically VCP tracking for you guys. So the benefit is on the screen when you come in range of a VCP. So when you're within 200 meters of a VCP, it'll actually come up on the screen of the VCP that you're approaching and count you down as you get closer to that VCP. So, or the RCPs. So for the VCPs, you have to be within 45 meters, and you can see that on the screen as you get closer to it. It shows your distance, and so you'll be able to see yourself. Same with the RCPs. As you get closer, it'll count you down, and then you can see when you hit that 15-meter requirement for the RCPs. So again, the unit pretty much operates in the background, does give you some of that positive feedback if you're looking for it. Otherwise, the unit just operates in the background, and you can continue the race. And if anyone has questions, I know we'll turn it over for questions at the end. No push to pass for this race. It's not active.
Great, thanks, Preston. And like he said, he can stick around, and then also they'll be putting the units on your vehicles tomorrow morning when you arrive at your location inside Gate 9. So they will answer any questions there as well. So if you have any questions, Jay will be up there or Preston down here. So right now what I'd like to do is invite Liam O'Donnell up here to go over some of the rules for the event. Liam?
Thank you, everybody. So I'm going to touch on just the pit areas real quick. So we're gonna split this pit area in Hammertown into two sections. The upper pit area, you will exit out of the Can-Am turn. It's probably the furthest turn on the short course. You're going to exit there, circle around, and re-enter the course somewhere right above or right below the drop-off after the turn. We'll make it so if there's a lot of people, you can pit along the fence or you can pit on the other side. So it'll be basically a drive-through on both sides. The people on the fence side, can you please park perpendicular to the fence so we can fit more people in? During the desert race, everybody parked right alongside the fence, and it made the pit area go way too far up the hill. For the lower main pit area, it'll be from the front of Mickey Thompson's trailer all the way around like it's been for the past however many years. The same thing with the speed zones. It's 25 miles an hour throughout within those pit areas. We'll touch on fueling again. People in the series that I'm familiar with kind of know the requirements. So when you are fueling, the fueler must wear a helmet or a head sock, full fire suit, boots or fire shoes, and an apron. Anyone that's working on the car while being fueled must also be in a fire suit, gloves, etc. Once you are done fueling the car, then anyone without those items can now begin to work on the car. There'll be 5-minute penalties for every infraction. Does everybody understand that? We're gonna do questions at the end. Thanks. I think Ben kind of went over pit 2. Pit 1 at Anderson is optional, but if you do go in that pit, it's the same thing. It's 25 miles an hour. You got to run down the whole thing. If you don't want to pit, just stay on race course and hammer down. People in your pit area, Everybody needs a yellow band or a racer band, co-driver band. I kind of walk up and down the pit at least a couple times a day, checking. So the pit captains or whoever's in charge of your pit, I usually talk to them, make sure to keep your area clean. If they're not working on the car, they really shouldn't be there. I'd prefer that they're not. You know, it's not necessary. It's just it's just another area for something to go wrong. So please police your own area. You can have for these pit areas, please use your spotters to get you in and out. We don't need to roost everybody, your neighbor, when you're trying to leave. I think that's about it for me. Ben? Oh yeah, we have so we have basically handouts with all the fueling procedures, all the stuff that you would need. It's right there. If you don't understand them, Jess will hand them out.
Sorry, everyone, Preston again. Real quick, on the trackers, I forgot to mention, they do also actually have car-to-car communication. So when you're on the course, you may actually see a countdown coming to a hazard. Shows up on the screen, smaller yellow screen with a countdown. That's just to warn you that there's a stopped vehicle ahead of you. But again, the nice thing is it gives you a countdown as you're approaching it. So that is something that you will see on the unit, and you'll know when you're coming to a stopped car.
Thank you, Preston. I want to clarify something so we are 100% clear on something. We will have a bulletin out in the next hour that USAC are preparing and Hammer King will sign off on for the 2024 King of the Hammers that clarifies some rules where there are some discrepancies between how we've run the event previously and the rule book. These will be then looked at for the 2024 season and onwards to be incorporated in the rule book. So, we already discussed last meeting, that there is a 5-minute minimum penalty for missing a VCP. We will issue this in a technical bulletin to make it 100% clear. You will all get an email of it. It will also be posted at the start line and in various places around town. Speeding in the pits. We do not currently have a rule in our rule book for this. It is a 5-minute penalty for speeding in each pit. You speed in this pit once, you get a 5-minute penalty. You speed in pit 2A, you get a 5-minute penalty. Speeding in slow zones, in 25-mile-an-hour race course zones, that is a 5-minute penalty. Fueling. If you break the rules for fueling, it is a 5-minute penalty, as Liam touched on earlier. There's an inconsistency between our rule book and some of our previous driver notes around working on the car and fueling. Lee just ran you through it. We will issue this bulletin to say that you can work on the car whilst fueling if you're in full protective clothing as is required to do the fueling. We will clarify that in the bulletin, okay? So it is written, we have a rule, we can enforce it. The final thing is we previously have not covered Pressure Pro fueling. We will allow the use in the pits of a Pressure Pro or similar industry standard fueling system at 6 pounds maximum pressure. So those things are very important. 5 minutes minimum for missing a VCP. Speeding in the pits, speeding in a speed zone, or a fueling issue is a 5-minute penalty. You can work on the car whilst fueling if you are dressed in the full protective clothing required to do fueling, and you can use a Pressure Pro or similar at a maximum of 6 pounds. Okay, if you have a problem on course, if it is a mechanical problem or something like that, please do not press the SOS button on your rally safe. It is not a communication tool for us to get parts to you to organise you a sandwich or anything else. Someone in the desert race pressed it and we wasted resources trying to get to them when all they had was a mechanical issue. You can communicate with race ops on Ultra 41, which is 151 700. 151 700. Or we also monitor Weatherman. You can also get the recovery crews on Weatherman. 151 625. Again, 151 625. Please let us know of any emergencies, and please also radio us to say that you are out of the race. That will ensure that we're not waiting for you up at night. Let us know if you're self-recovering. Let us know if you need help. Let us know if there's any issues. Recovery. We have recovery crews out on course at various locations. They are there to help you, but you need to help yourself as well. Don't touch cars that are moving. If we have to move you off course or clear a rock line, we can do that without you being DNF'd with our recovery crews. You may not receive outside assistance or help from anyone that is not a King of the Hammers recovery crew or another competitor. You cannot receive help from spectators or your crew. Okay. A note from the BLM team. This is a special recreation that is permitted through the BLM for Hammer King Productions. Both BLM and KOH have numerous monitors throughout the race course, making sure your race is safe. So please respect that effort. BLM is here for you to help you have a safe race all round. And just a special note, you all got the Desert Tortoise information packet. Please read it and respect the desert. Okay, we'll now open the floor to questions. Yes.
So, the sheep that are hitting right around the corner, where do you want us to enter and exit off?
Okay, so the question is the teams that are pitting around the corner from the Gomez brothers, where do you enter and exit from? When you come through start-finish, it would be really wise to grab that left lane, okay? Come through the start-finish, you can jump off wherever is safe, jump back on, get your crews to spot for race traffic. Remember, the racetrack is race pace, 25 miles an hour when you exit. To clarify on teams that are up in this top corner here, get off before the start-finish, come wide around, between the two sets of water barriers, not where we're standing right now, but between the two sets of water barriers at 25 mile an hour, and access your pit up here, okay? Also, if you're pitted down at Nitto in the corner and you need to get back on and you can't get back on before the start finish, travel between the water barriers, get back on. The timing for the end of laps and end of the race is done at the finish line jump, the same as where we did the qualifying, okay? So if you need to get off and you don't actually travel through the start-finish arch during lap 2, or start of lap 2 or start of lap 3, you will still get a lap time. We've got you covered on that. When you finish the race, your timing stops at the jump. Slow it down a bit, come round the corner, take the checkered flag here. Don't try and drive off like we did in qualifying today. A lot of the desert guys tried to exit the same way towards the Nitto trailer. Come through the arch, get the checkered flag, let's celebrate your finish. So please do that.
Can you just briefly clarify on if we're in the rocks and somebody's on their car with the active winch line, are they able to wave you by past them or not?
Yes, so we've had a process here that we've done for a number of years, which is you must make contact with the team in front of you that's stuck. If they give you permission to drive over their car, you can. But you must make contact, you must make sure it's safe. Okay? If you're sorry? Oh, an active winch rope. An active winch rope, yeah, you don't drive over them. It's a safety issue, they're working on it, and what it also does is just cluster everyone. Help. Say again?
If they have an active winch line out, and then, but they still wave you by.
Yes, if they wave you by, you can do whatever you deem is safe. Okay? Be respectful out there. It's quite likely that you'll go around the next bend and you'll be stuck on the rock and they'll be catching you. So just play it safe out there, but make contact, work together to get freed if you need to. This is a long race. Yes. The 4,800 and the 4,500 are mixed for start. We haven't done a gap between there. The only gap that we've run is for special classes at the back. So no, there won't be a gap.
For the 4,400 race, there's you mentioned VCPs for Medusa's bypass there. For VCP 111 to 113 from Bender Alley to Upper Wrecking Ball, there's also a VCP that's down with 112 Winner's Choice by 206. Is that a mistake? Would you already address that?
Lap 3 and lap 2.
Okay.
There's a VCP in the bottom of Winner's Choice for lap 3, 4,400. So when you go and you kind of enter like you're going to Dirty Love, and you're in the wash, and you get to the mouth of Winner's Choice, you're in that gully.
Okay, gotcha.
Stay in the gully all the way through, all the way up into the rocks, and go up through Winner's Choice.
Okay.
For the lap 2 of EMC, you're coming down Wrecking Ball from Jack North, Bender Alley, down Wrecking Ball, and then you're cutting into Winner's Choice that way. So you are not hitting that one lap 3 VCP at the bottom. Do you want me to cover the VCPs that we added? Okay, there was a mistake on one VCP. So instead of trying to fix it, we added one. It originally showed at the bottom of Full of Hate. It needed to show around the corner going up to Clawhammer, which would mitigate the rumors that I was hearing about people that wanted to come down the Claw, turn left, go get ice cream, hang out at the pool or do whatever, and then show up to Big Johnson that way. You would have been driving backwards on race course, because you would have turned right to go up to Claw, you would have gone 20 feet, hit a VCP, and then turned around and gone at back, and I would have been happy to disqualify you. Happy to watch them disqualify you. But that VCP didn't get put in the right place. Now it is. You have to turn up Claw. Period. And the other one, I'll fully own it. You guys can be mad at me. Whatever became the highway that crosses over and just basically deleted the entire race course over there is no longer in play. I added a VCP to make you go down Medusa, or to make you go down Thor's, so then you have to go choose something. I'm sorry. I thought I'd get it on you guys for you. You got it on me. I did not see that happening, and get it on you. That's rad. But we just came to the conclusion on it that if everyone takes that, the entire race course was built around the concept of giving you that option there, and the things that'll happen and the opportunities it'll present. And if if every racer just takes the easy way, and then we just basically lost the only really hard part of the race course. Does that make sense? So. I very rarely added that stuff like that. There isn't any hidden VCPs in the rocks. There isn't any the waterfall in Winner's Choice, not required. There is a bypass around the outside of it. I believe they put winch lines on I wouldn't go near that waterfall if I were you. I mean, I love that waterfall, but I wouldn't do it in a race car. And I left you all of Winner's Choice open. I left you all of every rock trail open. I think the only exception in any way is the top of the midpoint of Check Me Out, lap 3, when you get to the road crossing. There's 3 large pinnacle rocks, 2 medium size on the outside and 1 huge in the middle. You have to go between the 2 outside goalposts, the rocks. If you're driving up on dirt out of Winner's Choice, you are not on the line. You have to go out through the rocks on Winner's Choice. Check Me Out. Does anybody not understand what I'm talking about there? Sir? It's lap 3 trail that skips Highway 19 and 20. Eric? You have to go up between the rocks. You have to stay in the gut until you come out between the rocks. If you're running the high right line, you're not on the line. You're on the dirt. Yep. You can, you get, yes, you get down to the bottom. When you get in, and at the base of that, then you can go pretty much like an amphitheater around. There's a rock on the right, a rock on the left, and a really, really big one in the middle. You just have to get between the ones on the right and the one on the left. I can tell you it's not hard at all. It's not a hard climb at all to go into that gut, turn right, and just aim for the right rock on the right. It's not bad. I've watched multiple cars do it. It's climbable. It's real rock crawling, but it's very doable. Anthony? Yeah, I'm going to move the barrel probably further. A little further. You guys made that really fast. It's getting annoying, I'm telling you. Slow down a little bit. I thought it was going to be 9 minutes and 32 seconds. Whoa. I don't have any. Is there anything else that's concerning? Yes, Cade.
Yes, so that VCP might have gone in the file accidentally. I'll have to get that sorted. It was the either or of the desert lap, and it's carried into the rock file somehow. So we'll. Okay, so you can run either or. Perfect. Yep. So up in the desert lap, you'd have to look at the desert file if you don't have it. Okay, that's again on the desert lap. It's just showing on your GPS for some reason. It's not in the rally safe file. That's not on the active race course. That was to keep the desert guys down now so they didn't go try and drive a T1 up out of limits. Up the back.
Last year, 4600 had a 5-minute start after 45:48. Is that still in play this year?
Oh,
Do we do a 5-minute break?
No. You guys did it last year or 2 years ago.
there won't be dust. Look at the weather forecast. There won't be dust. The guys with windshield wipers might be pretty happy. Cabins.
Give him 5 minutes.
Okay. We'll give you 5 minutes.
You got 5 minutes then. Cool. There you go. Is that better now? Okay.
Over there.
Yeah, that's correct. So the stock bypass for UTVs, the stock bypass for EMC, and the lap 2 4400 bypasses are all the exact same bypass. So yes, on lap 2 of 4400, when you get to Wrecking Ball out of Bender Alley, you go east up the hill to and follow the bypass. Lap 3, you stay on the lap 3 trail. 4600 is going down Kings Beach Hill, and oh, by the way, I heard a bunch of stuff today from a bunch of 4600 racers that said that I was breaking their cars and it was horrible. Maybe you should go talk to Amber Hanna because she did it in a freaking Suzuki. Suck it up. If you're really worried about the rocks being hard, whoa. Is there anything else? Bailey.
Jack North wash. Stay in the wash.
No, you're bypassing that. You're not even coming at it from the wash side. You're coming at it more from Chocolate Thunder, so it's a direct up. There's no. I'm not putting any rock VCPs in any trail to keep you in any place. The bottom of Spooners, do the things. Whatever you got to do. CJ?
When we were talking about coming off for fueling, and you said the loop is at the jump, does it go all the way
It does. Yes, it does. Look at that.
So the question is, does the loop go all the way to the fence? It does. It goes all the way to the Can-Am or whatever's right there. It's buried all the way across. You do not need to turn around. Please do not go backwards in the pits to get on course. You will have a head-on with someone. So we've got that covered. Thank you.
Well done. There's more. Hold on. This is a tag team Greaves question. Go ahead, Johnny.
So is there any way that the VCP or the tracker sends a signal to scoring if somebody cuts a VCP? Or is
Yeah, it absolutely. We know actively while it's happening. So
so you can knock a guy before he goes up on the podium?
So here's a perfect example, and it created a whole storm over in Desert, right? One of the things that I pushed for USAC to do this year is if they believed there was a penalty happening, I wanted them to actively promote that as fast as possible. I wanted them to tell your crew chief, I want to say it on a live show. And the reference point I used was Formula One. When somebody screws up, they say, we're investigating this. At least you know. Sometimes it's a joke, right? And sometimes all that stuff happens, but at least we're talking about it. So I thought it was great when I found out that we were investigating speeding in the pits, but it turns out there wasn't a penalty, and then that's now created another shitstorm because they think that we're just hiding penalties. We're investigating, and if it turns out, if they find out no penalty, then it's no penalty. But when they see that, that's what we're doing. Yeah. Does that make sense? Just try. It's more to be clear. So when you race and you're trying to win, and if you don't know you have a penalty against you, you don't know what you're going to be dealing with. And we're trying to tell you that as fast as we can during the race.
Yeah, it's just not fair to someone if somebody decides to cut just to get up on a podium, and then they don't get penalized for a day or two or a week later.
I'm doing my best that there's not penalties a day or even hours later. I'm trying. We're better than we were. We'll keep getting better. And please be patient. Thank you very much. That one didn't deserve applause. Go ahead. Yeah, so I got a couple things for you. There's two different tracking maps. One's Rally Safe, and that shows you your tracking like normal. The other, if you go to Starstream's servers and pay for their premium, when it's theirs, it's actually your premium service. Has a map that Stephen Lutz and Rugged Rocks designed that combines video feeds, trackers on our cameramen and our video feeds, and then your onboard feeds all into one, like basically produce your own show. You see all 30 of our cameras, we see all the cars that are putting out video, and you can just pick any camera you want whenever you want to. It's pretty rad. On that note, James, did you have numbers? Did you know of anything at all? Do we have a... I will announce it tomorrow on the show, and I'm basically going to do it like a telethon. I believe we have about 24,000 people that have paid $25 for our show. I don't know how many on Starstream. I have committed that 75% of gross revenue from our production is going to you guys. I'm taking it by each individual racer, and I'm breaking it up per head. There's 812 people here. I'm taking anywhere between $100,000 and $1 million, and I'm going to break it up 812 ways and give you money. That's the best way I can do it right now. On that note, you guys are my best salespeople, right? It's your opportunity. Help us push it. I'm going to do my best, and we're going to do the things, but this is your opportunity as well. All right? Of course.
So just for that tracking, the website is koholtimate.com. We've been sharing on our socials on the website. KOH Ultimate is the one that has all the subscription and really cool stuff. There's a bunch of other links on the website and in the production feeds for everything else. There's you can literally sit there and see what the guys in the truck see with all the cameras, and what they're doing is really cool. So yeah, koholtimate.com.
Real quick, how many people have seen content generated from this year's race, whether on the big screens or on your phones or hearing from it at home? Where's our production crews is anybody here? I saw Carlos a second ago, James Masters. Anybody here from production, raise your hand. You guys with the camera, you're a production dude, there you go. You get to get all the applause. Everybody applaud for this guy right here. The show's off the hook this year. It's really rad. The way things are coming together, it's been an amazing ride, and to see the way it is now, and it's just different and it's fun, and it's amazing to watch you all do the things. It's so much pride and so much. It's just amazing. You guys do the most amazing things, and girls. So, any other course questions? Any other questions? I got one over there too. I'll come back to you. Yes, sir.
Just to clarify, none of the like you said, stock bypass. So like, if my dad's racing stock production, he does not take a bypass, right?
Correct. It's Sportsman UTV cutoff, stock 4600 cutoff, 4400 lap 2 cutoff are all the same. Stock UTV would just take the regular UTV line. Thank you. Good question.
Just on the fueling safety, I understand you need a fire suit and all that. Does everybody touch this car while fueling have to have an apron as well?
No, only the person holding the part that goes into the car for fueling needs an apron. The first person in line. So if there's two guys holding a dump can, the guy at the front wears the apron. If there's one guy holding the valve for the probe, he's wearing the apron.
Jason?
Lap 2 for the 4400, we come to the top of Napier, we do Thor's twice, lap 2 and 3, or lap 2 we go down Kings.
Lap 2, you go down King's Veto in 4400. So you have the bypass to go up Wrecking Ball and the bypass to go down King's Veto, both stock bypasses you take on lap 2, 4400 as well. Okay? I had a question over there I didn't get to you. Go ahead. Someone relay for Casey. I can't hear that.
Yes, so he's asking about the youth start delay. We'll have to play that by ear. What we're going to do is make sure that all the races are out of Turkey Claw. As soon as the last vehicle is at the top of Turkey Claw, I'm going to set you free. There's a GPS track for the youth 4900 at PCI. If you haven't already got it, it was there last night. It shows you the way to get out into the desert. We're following the first 2.5 miles of the Desert Challenge track. So you skip Heartbreak Ridge, you skip Turkey Claw, okay, and then you join the track down there. What I don't want to do is send you out of town and put you in front of people that have been stuck in Turkey Claw. So we'll just have to see how the traffic goes in there, how the final guys clear out of that. So 10 to 15 minutes is what we're thinking, but we'll try and get you out as quickly as possible as safe.
It's my intent to just to follow. I'm going to sweep right behind the youth in the Centurion and just kind of to hang with them, make sure they're good, make sure there's somebody on site if something gets weird. This is new for us. We want them to enjoy it, have a good time, and feel safe doing it. So that's how I'll handle it tomorrow. I'll be on race ops if anybody needs anything on that too. Is China Bourbon here? China, are you here? China. You guys can clap for from here. China's running all of race ops and keeping you guys all safe and get you home every night. When you guys have problems out there, you call on race ops. She's the one that's going to answer the radio. She's the one that's going to dispatch recovery. She's the one that's going to make sure you get back. She's the one that's still sitting in there at 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night, making sure the last car's back. And she's to be there at 1 o'clock in the morning tomorrow night, and 1 o'clock in the morning the next night. And then she'll stick around for the next 10 days while we clean up. And I thank you, China. Any other questions? Sir, Anthony? Yep, if you're caught, get out of the way, correct. There's not push to pass. I'm not a huge advocate of the push to pass technology. I think it's more of a Band-Aid and catch you thinking that's the easy way by. Do your things, pass safely, race, win the race, do the things.
Hey, Dave. I just want to say thanks to you and your staff, USAC guys, all your volunteers.
There was one more question about the rally safe. The distance to the VCPs is in these weird things called meters. There's 3 feet in a meter. And change. A little bit of change. Yeah. It's close to a yard. If it says you're 15 away, you're about 15 yards away. Good luck with it. Apparently that's my fault. Okay. Cool. Any other questions, or we'll wrap this up? Yes. There will be course workers there. It's on your GPS. There are signs. It's only a speed zone in lap 1 when you're coming out of the Marine base. Lap 1 traffic will be giving way to lap 2 traffic. Okay, so if you're leading the race and you're coming out down the MDR double track on lap 2, we will stop the lap 1 traffic to give way to you, so you have a clear race out to Emerson to go into the rocks. So if you're at the tail end of the pack, you may have to give way. It is a stop check there where we will stop you if we need you to give way on lap 1, okay? If you're leading lap 1, you go 25 mile an hour through that speed zone and you go out the other side, resume race pace, head back to resolution. Clear? It's marked. It's got a start point and an end point on your GPS. There'll be course workers there. It'll be very obvious. The 25 is in miles per hour.
And also, if we're doing the 5, are you doing is there Jason, where'd Jason go? 5 miles? Okay, so 25 mile an hour speed limit, which actually means a 30 mile an hour speed limit in metric, because you get a 5 mile an hour buffer. So as a racer, I'm telling you, you get to go 30 miles an hour, 29.9 miles an hour, because that's at 30 is when he's going to penalize you. But at 30, you're getting a penalty. Don't complain that I only went 30.1. Well, you went 5.1 over. So have fun, Jason. Yeah. 150 feet desert, 50 feet rocks, or 15 meters and 45 meters. Any other questions? Thank you. Thanks for making this really, really cool. You guys are amazing. Go do awesome things. The whole world's watching. And then go home and tell awesome stories. Thank you, everybody. See you soon. Anybody that didn't give your race frequency to Carrie Steiner, you're going to wish you had help when she could radio you and talk to you, but you didn't give us your frequency. Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Hey, Ben.
Scott? Your guys' car on there?
I have a question. Thank you for everything. So,
Course questions are probably better today. I can try and help you.
I think you guys said on lap 2, 4400, we take the stop.